Hello, everybody, and welcome to Twist of Insanity, episode 3. My name's Kitty,
I'm Kelly.
and here we go, I guess, for the awkward intros.
we're still thinking of, some fun intros. We'll figure it out, but we're at number 3. Give us some time.
We've actually got 3 podcasts in a row recorded without missing anything. This is legendary for Kelly and myself, who are notoriously terrible organization and reliability.
We're changing people. We're changing. We're working on better things for ourselves.
One podcast at a time.
It's beautiful.
I have had. Have you had anything interesting this week? This week I have just been slammed, and not the good, sexy slammed. I mean, like the work slammed.
Ooh. Oh wait, never mind. I've been Black the other Friday. Kind.
Yeah, the Etsy store has just been crazy. Like Black Friday was bad. Then I had a dead day, and then like Cyber Monday I got slammed. The post office probably hates me. We had to take the pickup truck full of stuff on the Tuesday after Cyber Monday. So great for sales. Right now I stink of ginger cookie because I made some spiced ginger cookie lotion, which is delicious, but I want to kind of eat myself. And I'm really worried that people are going to try and eat this lotion. And at Christmas, you get like the non-regular customers. So I'm really worried that someone's actually going to think this is edible.
There's going to be at least like one guy like Shoe Nice, if people know who that is.
Okay, so here's how it is, guys. Like customers around Christmas, most of my customers are incredible because my stuff's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive. But because of that, I don't get like the people looking for the 99-cent deals, I had this customer order a set of 6 essential oils, right? You choose from the list, and she ordered it, and I messaged her, and I said, I need your selection. You can choose from here and here and here, and here's the listing. And she says, yeah, I want the set of 3, please. I was like, okay, well, you paid for the set of 6. Would you like me to refund the difference? And can I have your choices, please? Well, she never responded. So after like a week, I cancelled her order and sent her a message saying, I've cancelled your order because I'm unable to complete it. And then she messages me instantly after like 4 messages with no response. So she did it again. She bought the 6. I said, what are your choices? Here's the list below. Please put them in here. Even included a picture of how to put your choices, how to message me your choices. And she replied again, I like the second set of 3, please. So I was like, all right, this is probably someone who doesn't know what she's buying. So I messaged her and I said, would you like me to just give you my top 6, like my top 6 sellers? And after 2 weeks of something I don't make much money on, I sent her the top 6. So yeah, I love Christmas shoppers. It's great.
She's going to send like 5 messages about how you messed up her order.
Oh, don't.
It's coming.
Generally, I have heard some real Etsy horror stories, and I haven't had any bad customers.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, no, hit everything around me. But yeah, no, my customers are great in general. So when I get one, it's spectacular for me. But no, it's just been busy. I've done almost all of my Christmas shopping. Really? You haven't started at all, have you?
I was in shock. Because
what? So everyone thinks that, but
no,
really,
because
it's last minute for me, because if I don't ship it like on Friday, it's not going to get to England in time.
I almost wish we had a webcam, because that silence was me turning and looking at the shit I had just bought that I didn't need to fucking buy and just like, fuck.
So we normally, we're recording this probably about 40 minutes after we normally do. Actually, it's an hour. I didn't realize, because Kelly and I were just talking about pulling each other away from online shopping because the weather's cold, so everyone wants to buy sweaters, and I love warm things. And Kelly was trying to talk me out of buying stuff, but she didn't. She talked me into it.
All I did was like, I just bought a bunch of stuff that was on sale and it's warm and comfortable, but you can't, Kitty. But then we just kept talking about shopping.
Yeah, I found this site, ModCloth. Now, it's a big site, so I'm pretty sure like I'm last to the field here in regards to finding this website, but not sponsored by it or anything, but I want everything on that store. I want it. And I know I don't have the right shape for a lot of it, but I still want it. Everything's presented so nicely, and I could just see myself just regretting life on that site. So
That's one of the negatives of online shopping is they do present things very well, but the good
you
thing
don't
about
feel like
going,
you're paying for it.
yeah, that, and when it's clothing, sometimes clothing fits completely differently than you think it would when you first lay eyes on it. That's why sometimes it's nice to try on your clothes before you buy them because some things just aren't flattering on certain shapes or whatever, and they always present it so nicely on the website that you have no idea.
Yeah, like I'm pretty lucky for bottoms, right? Because I live in leggings and yoga pants and maxi skirts, but I'm normally a small, like Victoria's Secret, Slut Mart, whatever you want to call it. Like I wear their leggings because they have tall leggings, got long legs. So I'm a small there, but the top, because I got big knockers, I can be a medium or a large. So that's the risk. So I tend to go for the slouchy tops and order a medium so I'm safe. Um, but I certainly wouldn't buy like a shirt or anything online. I think I'd have to go to the shops. But the thing is I hate shopping. Like,
And people.
and people, that's the real thing, is the people bit. Like, if I could have a store to myself, that would be amazing. But going to a
Oh.
mall this time of year just fills me with horror and nightmares and those screaming children and just
Oh, and
people in my
shopkeepers
way.
though, they're the worst. Like well, yeah, the kids
Oh,
are the
in
worst,
America,
but
they're like, hey, welcome to wherever the fuck you are. If you need any help, just call.
do you need me to measure your tits? I can put on your underwear. Like, just leave me the fuck alone, bitch.
In England, the shopkeepers don't get commission or anything, so they just kind of grunt at you. That's how I like shopping.
Yes, I
Whereas
would
if
love
over here,
that.
they're like, hey, y'all, or welcome to Paula Dean Mart. Well, that was a really bad accent. I apologize. I am in the South. Uh, but yeah, no, I don't like being bugged because I feel like there's people around me. I'm anxious, and now you're putting me on the spot and you're making me more anxious. And I just wanted to buy some fluffy socks.
No, and then it's like 10 shopkeepers will come up to you in certain stores where they have
Do you
multiple
need any
employees.
help?
It's like, no, 10 of your friends just came over here and already asked me, like, I'm good. Please, please just go away.
Yeah, the worst one is when you're bra shopping. Now, Kelly, you know what this is like. You've got big tits as well. Like in England, boobs are a little bigger, so you can go into any shop and get a nice bra, but you go into a department store here, and if you're over a C cup, it's like, oh yes, the wall of beige. It's this way.
Yes, the big beige D's. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
ugh.
so you have to go to like Slut Mart, or aka Victoria's Secret, or somewhere like that to get bras. Or me, I actually get them flown from England. But Victoria's Secret has a good selection, but their straps are shitty. So it's like you can either have beige or go to IKEA and buy a shelving unit.
I just shove my boobs into smaller bras, and you're totally not supposed to do that, but I do it all the time. Whatever. It lifts them up a bit.
Bravissimo.
That's nice. Get some nice cleavage going on.
So right now the pound's worth nothing. So you can go to like Bravissimo and Marks and Spencer, and they'll ship to America really cheap. And right now the bras are pretty much cheaper than they are in the US.
Kitty, no, stop. You're gonna make me shop more. This was
So,
this is the first thing you said to me today was, please stop me from shopping and we need to record. And then here you are being a horrible influence.
we wanted to have a lighter, fluffier podcast because we felt like the world was going to shit.
Oh, our topic list was awful. It was like
It was
civil
like
forfeiture,
pedophiles.
rape. Yeah, the pedophiles. Oh my word, just it was
We
rough.
looked at it like an hour before we were recording. We were like, we can't do this. We can't do this. So we decided to have like a casual conversation section where we're just like having a phone call with each other. And weirdly, you guys were listening in. So enjoy.
Yeah, don't shop. Don't let Kitty peer pressure you guys into spending money you
But
don't
they're
need to
so
spend.
pretty. And you've got to get a big, heavy, woolen, comfy, snuggly sweater and like shawls that you'll wear once and onesies, right? Because
Oh,
everyone loves onesies.
no, I don't, but I
I
love
love
warm clothes.
winter. I miss
I know, I just
Colorado.
was, yes. Well, I was going to add to, like, one thing I like about winter is, like, everyone's inside. I'm a bit of an introvert. I take a lot of pleasure in just being alone and doing just, you know, what the fuck
Rubbing
ever I
one
want to
out.
do. And just, I'm happy that way. And it's so nice to just be reading a book by the warm fire. And then there's beautiful snow outside.
Yeah, I love it. And like I got some there's a company in England called Whittard and they're a tea company, but they have the most amazing hot chocolate. And I had some shipped over and it arrived yesterday and it's like a spiced hot chocolate.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good. And there's one that's like chocolate flakes that you put in the cup and stir it up and it's so
Oh,
good.
you
But
know what
like
I did with hot cocoa? I bought one of those things where you can make your own whipped cream, and then you just put heavy whipping cream in there, and then a CO2 thing, so it's like, you know, you can spray it out.
that would be deadly.
Oh no, it works. It's just like a standard whipping cream container, only, you know, one you buy and reuse. But yes, there are CO2 containers like there are in
Oh my
BB
God.
guns.
No, I
Uh,
can't do that.
no, it's so good. The cream is so good, and
I would weigh
it's no
500 pounds
sugar.
within a
There's
month.
no. You don't add sugar. You could add sugar-free
Oh,
stuff.
so it's healthy whipping. Well, healthier
Well, I
whipping cream.
mean, it depends how you eat. Some people like higher fat, and so cream would be okay with that. Some people don't like dairy, so they would have to say no.
Oh, that sounds lethal. But yeah, whenever it's cold, I just want it to snow. Like in Georgia, it's just damp, humid, cold, and shitty. And like,
No.
I just keep thinking of how nice and crisp and dry and cold the air is in Colorado and how there's probably snow. In fact, I know there's snow there already. And I just want to get on a plane and just say, fuck it. I'm going. And like, I go to the hot springs in Ouray and Ridgeway and just sit there. There's like snow on the ground. It's like 106 degrees in the pool. And you just look up and you can see stars for days, the reflection of the moon bouncing off the mountains. I just want to be there right now.
Yeah, last time I was there, we got this nice house on a mountain, and then it had a nice big deck, and it had the hot tub. And so Alex and I like to travel to dark places, dark spots, no light pollution when there's meteor showers because we're really into it. And it's just amazing. There was a nice meteor shower going on at the time, and just like laying there in the nice warm hot tub, but it's chilly air, so you're not getting too warm and not too cold, and then just watching, you know, the comets whoop, and it was amazing. Love it.
Oh God, I miss it so much. Yeah, where I go, there's like no light pollution at all. Like even in the town, there's just not any. You can just see far, far away,
It's
and it's just I
it's
don't know. It's
overwhelming,
so
I think, to people who are maybe used to living in a city and then they go somewhere where there's no light pollution and they're just blown away about how many stars there are.
yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because
Everyone
you
has
see
to
the
get away
North
sometimes.
Stars, and then you look and there's more, and then you look and there's more, and it's just like it's never ending. I mean,
Yeah.
which it isn't, I guess. But um, oh man, I hate Georgia. I really need to win the lottery and buy a ski house in Colorado or something.
Yeah, I'm in Illinois.
If someone could win the lottery on my behalf, that would be great. But yeah, anyway, Christmas shit done. But we were talking about like plans for the show for the future, right? Because right now we have no real kind of template, and that's working for us. But we'd like to have some kind of segments, maybe like giant sirens and warning alerts when we start talking about politics. And things like that. So if you guys have any feedback to subjects you'd like us covered, subjects you're not too big on, and if you're going to put subjects you're not too big on us covering, please put stuff you loved us covering in so we don't get all emo over it. That would be great because, you know, we could talk about anything for an hour and a half. So we'd like you to kind of enjoy the ride as well.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's fun listening to a podcast. You don't really know what to expect, and maybe say we hit some topics you've never really considered before, and that's cool too. But like some broader things, like if you're really into culture or entertainment news. Like, that's useful for us to know as well. Or maybe you really hate shopping. I don't think anyone hates shopping. That's part
If you hate shopping, just don't listen to our podcast because it's probably going to come up every now and again.
But yeah, like I could see that if someone really hated shopping, then, or maybe a lot of people hated shopping, then we wouldn't cover it as much. So it's just useful information for us.
Yeah, it's good for us to know. So please give us feedback in the comments. Now, I know a lot of you wanted it to go up on iTunes. I think Kelly's handling that. We're waiting on approval. Is that correct?
Yeah, so when you make a new podcast, you do have to wait for approval from iTunes. It's not like they're not going to approve us. You just have to wait for them to do it. So it usually takes a week and a half.
So we shouldn't say the word fuck or?
No, well, I don't think they care about that.
So we can say cunt?
I don't think they even listen.
Fuck.
Well, be
slut.
Careful. What if they are listening? Shit. now it's all just cunt, fuck, hey, iTunes. You're approving us, cunts.
It's already up on SoundCloud, so all the links will be in the description. If I've forgotten to put them in, they'll be in the description of Kelly's because she's slightly more organized than me. But hopefully we'll be up on iTunes soon.
But yeah, we are working on that stuff. If there's like a provider that you guys would like us to put it on, let us know that too. We can't guarantee we'll get all of them, but I do want to get one of the Android ones, probably Spreaker. I don't know. I'll probably look into like just sort of some kind of Android equivalent to iTunes for podcasts.
Yeah, I think that would be good because, it's not like we have a video going in the background. Well, actually, next week's we will because it's the creepy gifts of Etsy episode. So I think we're going to do that a little differently. Where we've each had $35 excluding shipping to spend on Etsy to buy each other creepy gifts.
I did get all of my gifts too.
Yeah, so we're going to film that next week. So that should be fun. I'm a little scared by Kelly's.
No, you should be. It's just
see,
nasty.
I thought if this was a competition, I'd won, and then she's like, one of these
lost.
might curse you, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I really think you've lost.
Okay, well, I will lose graciously if that is the case. But so that episode will be next week, so you can see our beautiful faces. And my IV of coffee that I will probably be needing. But yeah, so let us know, give us feedback. Should be up on iTunes hopefully sometime soon, already on SoundCloud. Let us know if there's anywhere else you want to hear it, and what you like and don't.
So we're also thinking of other sorts of segments too, and special episodes. I think I would personally like to do. Kitty, what do you think about this? Where, like the Christmas episode, we do occasionally have these special episodes.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about doing like a Q&A because I noticed the questions were quite packed. Oh, actually, I should cover that. A lot of you were asking me about my wheelchair talk. And, and I realized that I hadn't explained. I'm a part-time wheelchair user. When I go to Walmart, I use a wheelchair. If I go to Universal, use a wheelchair. Jump the queue. It's great. But I walk around the house and stuff, but I'm a bit wobbly, fall over a lot. So when I go out in public, I have to sit my ass down. I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome as well as arthritis. So ta-da, part-time wheelchair user.
I remember when I first saw you in the wheelchair, we were at, I think it was a paintball event, but no, maybe I saw you before that. But I just remember you coming over to our house, and my cat just jumps right on your back, pound you, just my fat cat. Her name is Nam. We cursed her from the start with that name. She really likes eating, but like she steals food from the other cats. But
that was so funny.
Yeah, she just like, I'm gonna pound Kitty right in the back and just really get her.
But I was wearing a fluffy hoodie, so I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't realize it was like a cat. I was like, what the fuck?
But yeah, she just hit you and you're like, oh, and I was just like, no!
Oh yeah, you were worried I was gonna fall. I was a bit more fragile then, but I had a lot of like rehabilitation stuff to try and strengthen up the weakened muscles. So I'm a little more sturdy now. But the problem is now, whereas before I was blatantly aware that I wasn't good and I was wobbly, right? So I didn't try anything stupid. Whereas now, like my body lures me into false sense of security. So I'll be like, oh, I'll just walk over here, really. Oh, I'm on the floor.
Oh no.
Because before there was like that constant pain reminder. Whereas now I can have a day where relatively low pain, and then suddenly like a muscle spasm will just hit me from like I'll be carrying like a glass in one hand, like a teapot or some shit in the other, and then it's like smashed all on the floor. I remember the other day, Kyle came in. He's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Because there's like 3 broken bowls on the kitchen floor that I had to clean up." I was
Wait,
like, "Yeah,
you left them there?
I couldn't bend down to clean them up." So I just left them there. And he like goes into the kitchen and it's just like, "What?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, I still can't like pick things up off the floor very easily. Well, I mean, I can, but I'm on the floor.
You are a little more wild now. You sent me like a picture of like the skiing wheelchair contraption that you wanted to use to ski in Colorado.
Yeah, the bi-ski. So like I'm trying to explain this in a not depressing way. I've always had joint pains and muscle pains and just general weakness in that area, but I was pretty damn athletic. And then like one day I just couldn't get out of bed. So I went to the doctor and it all really hit me very, very fast. And I was kind of like in a lot of denial about it. Mm-hmm. So I became a bit of a shut-in. But I had to go to some big gaming event. Maybe it was PAX or E3 or something. And Syndicate was there. And he like dragged me out to one of the parties because I was like, no, I'm just going to go back to the hotel because a chair is just cumbersome, right? At a party, it's just in the way. And I was just feeling a bit shitty, but he kind of dragged me out. And I had fun. I wasn't in anyone's way. And the people I just didn't give a fuck about. I was just like...
That's kind of cool. You can run people over if they're in your way.
Yeah, and I put like... We went to like an EDM gig. I think one of our friends was DJing. So I had like my LED lights on my chair wheels. So it was like people could see me, and so I solved that, and I became a bit more comfortable in the fact that I was having to use a chair, because the other thing is when you go out, people stare, because I look young and healthy and somewhat in shape, but I'm in a chair.
They're like, look at this scam artist.
Look at this fucking scammer. Or the worst one is if I'm using my badge, but I'm walking that day. That always gets the, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Have you gotten that before?
Once, but I was like, oh, thanks. Because, I mean, there are people who fake it. So
yeah,
we all secretly judge. Like, if we see a fat person come out of a disabled badge, we all do it subconsciously.
Oh, yeah, like
we're all like, oh, of course.
The people of Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. We all do it. It's natural. Yes, it's shitty. But that's who we are. That's who we are as humans. We're horrible, horrible people. And we all secretly judge. So I don't care.
Yeah, you really can care about stuff like that. Because if you even focus on it, it's just going to make you feel shitty. So there's no reason to. And it's that person's problem.
But when I went to Colorado, I'd got some skis for my front wheels. So I have off-road tires on the back. And then the tiny little wheels at the front are what jam you up in a chair, right? Because it gets caught on gravel or whatever. So I got some skis for the front and it worked. And I was like, oh God, nothing can stop me now.
I could just picture you just flying down a hill in your chair. Man.
So I got an off-road wheel called a freewheel, which raises your shitty little front wheels off the ground. And it's a big off-road tire. So now I can go on gravel and grass and mud. So that got me back on the paintball field. As much as it wasn't as fun, it still got me there. Then I got the skis for the snow. And then I discovered the bi-ski, which was a ski. It's like 2 skis with a seat on it that they push disabled people down mountains in. So now I can ski as well. I've not used it, but I'm going to within the next year. And I was like, actually, this wheelchair has given me freedom. It's not taken anything away. It's just given me my freedom back. I just have to adapt it a little bit. I did try to harness my dog up to the front of it, but he ran so fast, he dumped me out of the wheelchair. So we're going to have to work on that.
Oh, my God.
I literally bought him a harness.
Where did you do that? Like, did
the ball
hurt? Oh, okay, it was like grass.
Yeah, it was grass. No, it didn't hurt. I was laughing. I mean, it may have, but I was laughing so hard. I couldn't get him to go, right? And he's a Belgian Mouser. He's really fast. So I just threw the ball, and I didn't think. I was
Oh,
so stupid.
that initial boom.
That initial boom. I just like came out of my chair really hard, really fast. But it was so funny to see my dog with his wheelchair dragging behind him.
Oh, but with the ski slope, what if you could like just if you just sort of like run into people and just like tackle them out of the way? I don't know if this would work, but just
Well, yeah,
run
'cause
them
you
down.
get little sticks. You get little sticks, right? So you could knock them out from the ankle below. Because you still have to
Oh.
steer. You still have the sticks. They're just shorter.
I
And the
don't-
great thing is when you run into anyone with a wheelchair, whether it's your fault or not, they apologize to you.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I could be like, oh my God, ski slope bowling. And you knock out 5 people, it's like, spare.
They're just like bleeding all over, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you all right?" You just knock them in the head again with the stick.
Why didn't you get down? I was 1 away from a strike, you bitch.
I think I want if I'm ever in a wheelchair, I think that's gonna be my
You'd
thing.
be horrible.
I'm
You'd be
I'm getting a mountain slope. That's like my main thing, and I'm just gonna be known as the woman who
You'd be
knocks
like
people down.
Bodicea. You'd have like chainsaws hooked to your wheels, like spikes at the front.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you know, like Bodicea, she was one of the rulers of the Roman Empire, and she would have chariots with like spikes and knives and stuff beside it, so she'd just hack through people.
Are wheelchair battles a thing?
No, but they should be. I did once propose wheelchair jousting with pool noodles.
Oh yeah, but we need death and blood.
Yeah, I'm not sure the sign-up rates for that would be very high.
Oh, yes, they would. We could figure
Wheelchair
it out.
battles
Some
to the death.
people would do it.
Like
know they would.
gladiators.
Yeah, like gladiators. They have to sign up, though. They can't, be forced.
Ah, you see, that's a problem if you're going on a sign-up system.
I
Might
still
be
think
not
at least
ethical
some
to
people would do
force
it. We'd
it,
run out
though.
of people probably, though, pretty quickly.
Yeah, like Robot Wars, but with wheelchairs.
I guess you could have, like, fake people. Well, all right. Have you seen the show Westworld? It's really... It's new.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
like that. That could be good.
Yeah. Just like
That's
those
creepy.
AI that, they look like people. You would think they're just normal people, but they're robots and AI and make them fight.
Be
And then
cheaper
one
as well,
dies.
less insurance costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Well, that wasn't on any of the topics.
No, it wasn't. Yes, I'm in a wheelchair and then whoop.
We ended up to death jousting wheelchair battles.
That would still be really cool. Actually, I think I would want it to be legitimate people in wheelchairs though, because I feel like they would be the best at it at handling the wheelchairs because they're used to it.
It goes back to that not sure anyone would want to sign up.
I know,
thing.
but I can still dream. I can lucid dream. I'm gonna imagine that. I'm gonna make it
Have
happen
you-
in my dreams.
Have you ever been told you are truly a horrible human being? I love it. It's not a criticism. It's quite a high compliment from me, but
No, I really
still,
wouldn't. I really wouldn't like that, everyone. I'm really not like that.
She does. She's gonna dream about it tonight.
No, if it was a normalized thing, I would probably watch like everyone else
Would
would
you
who's
watch-
judging me.
Would you watch like gladiator fights if they were still a thing?
Yeah, and I would probably be really against it too. I
Really?
think it's horrible, but I would still probably watch.
I can't watch that shit.
I don't like. I'll go to Live Leak, which is that website which is really just horrible, like car crashes or murder, whatever, just videos of horrific shit. And like I watch, like I don't know, it's that morbid curiosity, and I don't like that stuff at all. But it's just that morbid curiosity where you have to watch it, you have to see it. And a lot of times I watch those like horrible videos because I'm kind of like, all right, let's see what happened to this person. I don't want to ever repeat this and make sure this never happens in my life. But if it does happen, how could I potentially save myself? So it does
That's
have its
fucked up.
benefits.
It is. It is somewhat a natural instinct. I actually I can't stand that stuff. at all. I can't stand anything violent or grotesque. I'm such a pussy. I can't even watch like an animal kill another animal in the wild. Um, I'm not vegetarian or vegan or anything. I'm a complete hypocrite. I just don't like looking at it. But I did my dissertation on like thanatourism, which is like dark tourism, like people who would visit like sites of mass death, like Auschwitz, for instance, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and how it's been going on through the ages, like from back in the gladiators to even now on like a minor level of like rubbernecking traffic incidents. It's all in us. We want to know. We want to see. We want to become horrified or scared or
And some people are just some real sick fucks.
and then some people are real sick fucks. Like this massive pedophile ring. Or you say pedophile in America, don't you?
Yeah, I hear people say both ways.
It doesn't make sense to me why you say pedo and not pedo because you have pediatrics.
Yeah, who knows?
Whatever. Pedo, pedophile ring, got busted.
Yeah, so there's a lot of this going on. There's a lot of conspiracy theories or
News on pedophiles brought to you by Kelly.
but yeah, I feel like every time I look at the internet now, a lot of it's about these secret elites with their pedophile rings. And I don't know, I don't think I'd be that surprised if it's true. I think sometimes the world's a lot darker than we think it is.
Oh, I know it is. But basically, a ring, this Operation Spade was headed up in Canada. 350 people busted. It involves a lot of Brits, but no Brits are arrested right now or something. They're still at large. Pedophiles at large.
Yeah, they're investigating it. I believe more victims were coming forward as well.
So it involves football clubs, doctors, priests, like they had to include that, teachers, nurses. Like it pretty much includes people of any occupation. I didn't think it was still much of a big thing over here. And I say over here, I mean both the US and the UK. Um, I don't know. I
Yeah.
was kind of naive, I guess.
Well, see, I've looked at this stuff before because every once in a while, it'll start getting passed around some of and it's just, people say it's conspiracy theories, but there are weird inconsistencies in some of these things. And in a lot of investigations, specifically if it's investigating someone of more like higher society, very rich,
Yeah, they get
or
away with it, or it
yeah,
just suddenly doesn't get mentioned
yeah,
anymore.
suddenly there's missing witnesses. Suddenly the person who's investigating was told by their authority, stop, don't investigate it anymore. And there's a lot of weird things that happen like that, and it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it happened in England with the House of Commons. There were a few members that were completely busted for having like regular little boys coming over, and then suddenly the info kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I read about that one. It stops. There's an investigation, and then there's not.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, money buys everything.
It does, and
Money
then
buys justice.
say there are individuals involved that are more powerful, politicians, judges. They can make a lot of that stuff just stop as well.
Just happens to disappear. It's still horrifying that that's going on, but also they found 350 victims. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was 350 people arrested. But if there's 350 victims, how many people are involved in this bloody thing? It's either one really busy guy or it's like an insane gang of people.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I think it is. It did say somewhere, and I can't find it now. I didn't put it there. I believe it was over eight.
So here's my thing. I don't agree with the death penalty because I don't think a life for a life. But with pedophiles, man,
See, to me,
it's a
I don't.
really tough call.
It is right. I almost feel like it would be an easy way out for them, though.
That's my thing. Russia does chemical sterilization.
Yeah,
They used to do it in England and the US for gay people. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, chemical sterilization or castration. That's it. Chemical castration. Um, I think that's an option. For me, it's not normal to have an attraction to a child. I don't think, right? So for me, a pedophile has a mental illness, and that's the only way I can comprehend that a human being can do anything that horrific to a child is mental illness, because you're not right in the head if you're attracted to kids.
And unfortunately, I mean, I think in some cases they actually had things done to them when they were a child. I don't know if that would be like a learned behavior, but uh, in many cases, they've been victims themselves. And then there's, I know I see this here and there, it's a really unpopular opinion where you have people like, okay, well, this person is attracted to kids, but they don't act on it. And they haven't harmed anyone. What do you do in situations like that?
They need to get treatment.
Mm-hmm. And then I think this was a thing I.
But you see, they have harmed people if they've got pictures, if they've got videos. They've indirectly harmed.
Oh yeah, I'm not
kids
saying yeah.
in the pictures
Those
and the
are
videos.
yeah. No, I agree. I'm talking about people who don't act on it at all. No pictures. No. I mean, I would assume they do act on it though. They at least think about it, but.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, when no harm and everything's been done, I think they need treatment. But I think they need help, because at least they're admitting they have a problem that needs to be fixed rather than going out and harming. But I think those that have harmed, whether it's directly or indirectly, they need help, and those that have done damage need damage done to them. I'm not talking about anal rape or anything, as some people are, but I do think chemical castration, intense therapy in jail is an option. But then you've got the jail thing; they're going to get killed.
Oh yeah, it's a weird thing to think about because you can't. It's just one of the most horrible crimes I think that most people consider is hurting an innocent child. And then when you see that this has so many victims in this particular case, these people must have been repeatedly harming children.
Ugh, I can't even, Kelly. I knew you were going to put that subject on the subject list, and I'd seen the article, so I knew it was coming. And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, well,
she saw it. She didn't.
And then there's that topic, and then there's. Have you heard about the allegations in the U.S.? Those are.
No.
Yeah, I don't even think we want to get onto that topic, but.
Can we just throw them in a pit with some lions?
Right. I mean.
Because I don't know what's right. Like, I don't like the death penalty, but if you're convicted of being a paedophile, it's horrible what you've done. But I understand that it's probably a mental illness, because no one normal and sane would do something so horrific. But if you're put in jail, you get put in solitary confinement, which I also don't agree with, because solitary confinement just makes you even crazier, and I don't think that's healthy for anyone with any kind of mental illness, which pedophiles have. So I'm like, all right, chemical castration, but that didn't work on gay men, so will it even work on pedophiles? But I like the sound of the fact that they can't get a boner anymore. Pedophiles, not gay men. I don't have a problem with gay men, but it's like this endless cycle of, these are the most horrific people in the world, whether they could help it or not. They need treatment, but they also need punishment. And there's no right way.
Yeah, and
I wish I could just say line them up and shoot them, but I can't. Because I do think that you cannot be right in the head to enjoy that. I can't even say it. It's disgusting. But that, you cannot be right in the head. You need help. You need therapy.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of the more disturbing topics, especially when you look into the numbers of how many kids and teenagers are trafficked or lost each year. It's outrageous numbers.
Atlanta is apparently a huge hub for sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, sex trafficking is way more widespread than most people think, and it's awful. And I wish, there would be less focus on drugs. And we talked about this, in the first two podcasts. Less focus on stuff like that and focus on helping people who need help. Like, I want them to focus on saving victims. Trafficking is something I'm interested in, not trafficking but just.
You want to run
No, I wouldn't. But it's something I want to see solved. And, I mean, I guess you would have to legalize prostitution as well, but I'm for that. I think it should be.
Yeah, I think so. I think the profession's been around long enough, and I think it benefits both the clients and the people that work in the industry. I think it should be legalized. I think it should be regulated, similar to that of the porn industry. And the fact that the porn industry is legal and prostitution isn't just blows my mind.
Wait, but go back to the UK. Aren't they getting rid of? They're banning porn. Do you know more about that?
Oh my god!
Let's get off this awful topic and move on to the UK getting, well, seriously getting rid of some porn.
So this is the thing. It's not just porn. Like they didn't specify that. So they're now keeping your records. I haven't read this for a couple of weeks, so I'm a bit vague on it, Kelly. So you might have to refresh me. But they're now going to keep every domain you go to on file for 6 years, or is it 3 years? Something. I don't know. It goes back to needing the fact checker thing.
Yeah, they can act.
And they're encouraging ISPs to block access to adult websites. Now, we think of an adult website as porn, which is bad because everyone knows the internet is for porn. But what about like video games with a rating of 18 and above?
Yeah, there's like a lot of video games that have sex in them.
Amazon has erotica books and sex toys and whatever. So is Amazon going to be blocked? Like, is this going to become like a North Korea thing where you can only go to state-run websites like YouTube
State-run porn. Could you imagine that?
State-run porn. Oh, Henry, I do love it when you get those lovely firm cucumbers and raise your pinky when you take a swig of that tea. It's quite a turn on. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's what state-run British porn would sound like, if you're wondering.
I think we need it then.
That's the spot.
Just missionary, though.
Oh, kill me. Just missionary. Well, no sex, please. We're British. But, really dirty would be when you leave the crusts on a cucumber sandwich or something, if we're going to go really stereotypical. But yeah, no, the British laws are very vague. Maybe I'll research more about it. I totally forgotten about that because I was sideswiped by dirty people and the leprechaun thief, which I'll go into in a minute, stole a pot of gold.
Yeah, and starting today, the FBI and can hack.
What's going on with the FBI?
They can hack your computers, your phones. A lot easier now. From anywhere. They don't need to go for a local warrant or anything. They can just do it. Okay, so this is quoted from Fortune. The FBI and other law enforcement agencies will be able to search multiple computers across the country with a single warrant, thanks to a controversial rule change. Sorry, I couldn't talk today. We were struggling with that before the podcast too, just speaking right. But yeah, so before, say I was a law enforcement agency and I wanted to look into Kitty's computer, I would have to go where she is and get a warrant from a local judge in that area. They would have to okay it. Now they only need a warrant. The FBI can do it wherever they are, wherever you are. They can just hack into your device and look around. They don't have to go local.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Hey, FBI, enjoy the porn. No, it is because you've got the UK where every domain and everything, all your search history and everything is going to be kept now. The ISPs have to, potentially blocking all adult sites, which is really weird because the UK has huge kinky scene and sex scene and everything like that, and so porn's pretty big in England, more so than it is here, but I am in the south, so I don't know how that got passed. And then you have the FBI, so you have these two huge superpowers that are just kind of destroying privacy rights. And then we've got Trumpenstein coming into office in January. Oh, that's an amazing name.
I like it.
Trumpenstein. Oh, man, I'm on.
It sounds like tonight. It would be somewhere you get really nice pastries.
Oh, did you go to the little Trumpenstein bakery, dear? You can get one of those nice pain au chocolat. Trump coming in, and he's probably going to fuck a whole lot of shit up. So it's scary that two big, developed country superpowers are ripping away freedoms. And in England, it's already a very heavily surveillance country. I think we have more cameras than per square mile and per person than any other country in the world. You can't go anywhere in England without CCTV watching you or your
Oh
every
yeah,
move.
that's shit's growing too. And but my big concern with this thing too, the FBI thing, being able to hack into devices, what's to stop them from planting stuff on there themselves? And like since they're gonna have more hands on with like the investigation, couldn't they cover up when that, say they added something to your computer, they could cover up when it was added to your computer and just say, oh, it was that person who did it. I don't know if they could do that easily, but I just don't like this. This is just
even more
scary.
than that. Imagine if you were a celebrity, sent your boyfriend a nude, cops got fake warrant for your phone, looks at that. It's going to take a hell of a lot of discipline for you not to sell that to a newspaper or something.
And I mean, they'll be offered money,
when you
like
put
great money as
people-
well.
Exactly. When you put people in that kind of situation, shit's going to go wrong. So, I mean, I don't know. It's scary, the privacy, the surveillance laws. And we all know Trump's going to rev up the NSA.
Well, if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be worried. That's always the excuse. If you don't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
Then...
And I get that. But, it's privacy, man. Like, I don't want some guy coming in and rooting around my phone, seeing what recipes I'm going to be cooking over the next week.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about people judging. Like, what if people could just come into your life and just look at every little single detail? Like, ew, that's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, we all do gross shit.
Although I think you can get your FBI file. I was thinking about getting mine and seeing what it says, and then I was like, I don't want to know. I just don't want to fucking know. Like, what if it's weird and then I'm freaked out for life?
I had to go through so much. This is what the immigration thing right now, especially with the Ohio thing. My immigration file, the background checks and stuff you have to do to immigrate to America are huge. Like, it's not just on you. It's on the 2 generations of your family. So, brothers, sisters, mother, father, grandparents,
wow,
aunts, uncles and stuff. It's pretty in depth. So, all this stuff that refugees or people can immigrate to this country easily is bullshit. So I probably have a very interesting file.
Yeah. You have at least a lot of stuff in there probably from the immigration stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I'd want to see that. I don't know if it's going to have weird things that they shouldn't know, or if it would just be standard stuff and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's not really a big deal. They would probably know that, but it is a little freaky. And yeah, I don't like all of these laws that are continually just kind of not giving a shit about people's privacy. It's gross. I don't like it. I may not have things to hide, but I can see the issues with it.
It certainly makes Tor more appealing, that's for sure. But then the problem is, I live in the South. If I use Tor, that's going to flag something.
I think they I shouldn't even talk about this because I'm not 100% sure this is the right thing. They have ways to monitor certain exit. I don't know how to explain it, so I'm just not. But they can monitor Tor a little more effectively as well now. And if someone...
they're finally hiding.
Because Tor, I think, shares certain... Not IPs, a different sort of thing that says who you are. Other people can use it. It, shares that. So if someone else does something weird, but then you end up on the same sort of line, it can fuck with you. I don't know. That might just be scary stories to keep people from using Tor.
Yeah, that could be one of those things, if you're not good, Santa Claus won't come.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But I'm not 100% sure, but even that I think is sketchy.
Yeah, so I think my funniest news story isn't really funny, but I kept giggling thinking Leprechaun was a guy who randomly ran off with, $1.7 million worth of gold in a bucket.
Oh, and this guy is all over the the cameras. They have so much footage of him as well, his face.
Yeah, they're like, we don't think he planned it. He just saw an opportunity.
What were those security guards doing? They had the security truck just wide open, all the stuff just sitting right there, no one around, and he just grabbed it and went.
Yeah, it's there's literally pictures everywhere. They think he's in, is it Florida or something now?
Yeah, they said he most likely left New York. I kind of hope he gets away.
I want the leprechaun to succeed in this mission because the pictures are so funny, like him running with his like little hoodie and just clutching this bucket of gold flakes.
I guess be careful how he sells that much gold as well.
Well, it's gold flakes as well,
Mm.
apparently. I don't know what you do with that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny, the videos, because like no one's looking and it's just this guy. He doesn't even hesitate. He just goes up like he's supposed to be there and grabs it. And I think that's probably what you're supposed to do if you're stealing something, is just act like you're supposed to be there, that you know what you're doing, and then just, walk away like nothing happened.
It's crazy. I mean, those security van, like, they don't have jobs anymore.
Oh yeah, they're goodbye. They fucked up.
But how did the guy get so far with a bucket? Like, it's not like he was holding a tiny little coin purse.
Yeah, it's just
like
a
he's
big bucket.
running with this, it looks like almost a 5-gallon bucket full of gold flakes.
I mean, if you took a bucket full of gold flakes, you find the way. You make it happen, and he did it.
It's not very subtle, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
and it wasn't subtle
him.
at all in the videos, but he made it. He just acted like he should have that bucket. He made it his own, and no one questioned it.
I know it sounds horrible, but I really hope he gets away.
Yeah.
Like, I hope this time tomorrow he's living at large in Mexico or something.
Yes. I love it.
He's made a boat out of gold flakes and is en route to Guatemala or Mexico or somewhere.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's like the happy story we had in our topic list.
But it was only happy because I just kept thinking, pot of gold, leprechaun, lol.
Yeah, it was happy for me because, he's gonna get away. Come on, guy, he's not gonna get away, probably.
You know the Prius commercial where they're like being in a police chase and it's really cheesy and they're like, this car just doesn't stop. It goes on for miles and miles and everyone's cheering for Team Prius. That's how I feel with this guy.
I love watching.
I'm cheering for him.
They have a lot of live streams of police chases, and I'm always rooting.
Oh, yeah, me and you.
But they never get away, ever.
No, not once. But I hope this guy does. And I know that's a horrible thing for me to say, but I hope he does.
There was this one time I was watching a police chase, and the guy almost got away, but then the newscaster lady snitched on him. So he parked near a house with some shade, and he got out and he ran, and you couldn't really see because of the helicopters. This guy he puts a shirt over the shirt he had been wearing, and he tries to walk away with this woman, and she's got her arm in his arm, and it just looks like a couple out for a stroll. And so you hear over the cop radio, oh, where'd he go? We can't find him, blah, blah, blah. And the newscaster's lady is like, oh, look, those shoes. Those are the same shoes the guy was wearing. He's walking with this lady now. And then they contact the police, and they get the guy, and it was him. I was like, damn
it, Martha, why would you do that?
Yeah, he almost got away. So smooth. And then, no. News lady snitched on him.
Oh, that sucks. Talking about shitty stuff, did you see Australian college boys created 3.5 grams of Daraprim for $20? Now, for those of you who don't remember, that's a drug that Martin, what's his name? Sorelli? Oh, wow, I can't pronounce that. Sorelli.
Wait,
bought that HIV drug and jacked up the price to ridiculous amounts. So in the US, that would cost $110,000. And they made it for $20.
Yeah, I think it was like something like each pill is $700. So I've seen him talk about it before, and he talked a lot about why the prices are raised so high. And his explanation was that it costs a lot of money to make those drugs, a lot of money in research and testing, and there's like all these things they have to make sure that go into it, as well as developing new drugs, and they have to find ways to fund that. I don't know how I feel about those issues or reasoning, but yeah, I mean, that's really expensive, and but I could also understand how research would be so expensive to come up with. I mean, think of how much money has been given to cancer research and where we are on that.
So I think, it's cancer awareness, isn't it? No one actually wants to cure cancer. Sorry, that's my bitter, cynical self speaking.
Yeah, it is a lot of that.
But so there's another company, a US company that makes Daraprim, and they make it for between $1 and $2 a pill, but it's not FDA approved, so they don't sell it in the US. They sell it everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a certain cost to getting things FDA approved where it's just much more expensive progress, just tons of they have to test it a lot and keep testing it
Yeah,
to make sure results remain consistent.
no one wants another thalidomide issue.
Mhm.
But we think we're safer, but we're not. I mean, look what's happened with Purdue and the opioid problems. You know, we touched on this last week, but OxyContin was FDA approved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
They
saying.
fuck up too.
Little before that, heroin was FDA approved.
Oh my god.
So I don't know. I think the pill price is ridiculous, and I think he's a whore. Um, but I think that's really common of drug companies over here. The healthcare system over here is one of the most expensive in the world. You've heard me bang on about it a million times.
I mean, it's
Uh,
I can sort of compare it to YouTube a little bit. You'll have one YouTuber who finds a way to really make their videos do much better, and maybe it's giveaways or whatever. And then soon, a bunch of other YouTubers are doing it because they're like, oh well, that guy's doing it, so why wouldn't I? And everyone sort of follows that. And I see this a lot in community management as well. A lot of community managers just bot followers. I think it's a really shitty thing to do, but a lot of them do it for their clients. And
it's
sometimes,
really weird because it gives you such fake stats.
I know, yeah, that's what I say. And like, but some people like don't understand. They'll have a social media manager who's like, look at how many followers I got you. And it's all total bullshit. But the client thinks, oh, wow, you got me so many, because they have no idea about anything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it's crazy, but whatever. People see other people do certain ways of doing things. And I think that's how it is in the pharma industry where, oh, well, everyone's raising prices sort of crazy. We should do that too. And we can get more money to research more and blah, blah, blah. Money, 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 money.
So I think the moral of this story, guys, is go to Australia, pay a college kid to make your meds.
I wonder if you can make them yourself here.
Well, I mean, they did it in a school lab, so I'm assuming,
I
yeah.
don't think it was even
Well, they
college
did say
kids,
there was
though. I think it
one
was
part,
younger kids.
yeah, college or school or whatever. They said there was one part that was really quite dangerous, but they managed to do it.
Okay.
So if anyone knows how to make Advair, that would save me quite a bit of money.
We're gonna get our viewers to start manufacturing drugs.
Please manufacture my drugs. Where they've gone up lots.
Instead of there being like a way to subscribe to the podcast where you get like a little extra, but like on Twitch, you
Yeah.
subscribe to a channel.
Oh, you're going to make me flex a real?
Yes. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me for free on Twitch with Twitch Prime. So, just saying it. I do live stream
Really?
though, so it wouldn't just, not be worth.
You can now subscribe to you through Twitch Prime, through Amazon Prime?
Yes. I hope I explained that well. I think I said
You didn't.
Amazon
I have
Prime.
no idea what you're talking about, but I have Amazon Prime, so I'm interested.
Oh, girl. Get over to
Girl.
my channel.
We need a sellout section.
We do.
A sellout segment. All right, buy my shit on Etsy.
Yeah, sub to
Shop One Tree
me
Lane.
with your Amazon
Sub to
Prime
Kelly.
by adding it to Twitch Prime. You just go on Twitch, you add your Amazon
them your
Prime, you
channel.
connect it, and then you go to my channel. Yeah, you make it happen.
What is your channel, Kelly?
Oh, I should probably tell them it's different than my YouTube because someone took K-pop because they're assholes. It's Popkel, Poppkell. And I stream like 4 to 3 days a week. My live
4
stream
to
chat's pretty
3?
wild and crazy. Really perverted girls.
Your live stream chats are hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, they're interesting.
They're like, hey girl, hey. Butt fuck.
They're so perverted. All right.
Come on me, daddy.
So I used to do Call of Duty on YouTube where it was most of my viewers were like these straight guys and teenagers, and you would think they would be the most perverted. But no, girls are filthy. Women are filthy animals. I have like a pretty wide range, but my main demographic now is like 18 to 30. Those are my biggest ages. The more vocal are like a little younger at times, but the real pervy ones, man, these like 18 or so year old women, these college girls, they're whores
They're
now.
epic.
Just whores.
Army of Whores. That's a great name for a fan base.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to hate on my fans. They're pretty cool. I
No,
mean,
they
that's
are
not
epic.
hating anyways. It's just whores, whatever.
Talking about whores, you see Dolly Parton's donating.
Oh my god, dude, Dolly Parton is an amazing person.
I know. I just knew it would rile you up.
No, just because I was reading more about her today. I've known she's like really like helpful with the community and stuff, and I'm a pretty humble individual, but I read more about what she does, and like she has this whole program where kids get sent a book for free each month. And so if you saw, there were the fires and they spread to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is where her theme park is, Dollywood. I've been there. It's actually not so bad. But speaking of...
You went to Dollywood.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, all right, there's like, wait.
This was fairly... I didn't realize that Dollywood was a real thing. But I had a friend over and she was like, oh my God, Dollywood is the best. Like, they have the best fries. And I was just staring blankly. Like,
they have really good food.
Are you fucking for real? This is real. There is a Dollywood. And what's funny is I've been to Gatlinburg like a million times because it's just up the road from us. You know, the week we had the 2-second delay, we think it was because of these forest fires. Where I live, we had smoke for like 2 weeks solid. You couldn't really be outside for very long. We had like air quality red warnings for pollution. You couldn't see very far because it was smoky. Kind of went away, and then Gatlinburg went up. But yeah, so I've been to Gatlinburg a bunch, but didn't realize that Dollywood was actually a thing until fairly recently. And I find the whole thing pretty funny.
Oh my, wait, did you just say you find it funny that people's homes are being burnt in a horrible forest fire?
Yes, Kelly. I said I think it was pretty funny that people's homes are being burnt. Nothing to do with the fact that there's a theme park to Dolly Parton. Just for clarification, I think it's funny that there is a Dolly Parton theme park, not that people's homes are being burnt.
I was really sad when I found out because, like, Gatlinburg's pretty nice, a lot of nature, mountains, Smokies, you get it. But Dollywood's not too bad. That was my initial impression as a Yankee. I was like, Dollywood, are you fucking kidding me? But we had family who go to Gatlinburg a lot, and so we went one time.
Apparently they have good fries.
Yeah, they have amazing funnel cakes and stuff. But yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. And Dolly Parton, she's from that area. She grew up really poor. And so what she's going to be doing, I think she just helps a lot with the community. It's just, when you read things about her, she's just a really good fucking person.
Yeah, she's giving like $1,000 a month or something to help. But these
to
fires
each family.
are like Yeah, these fires are insane. I mean, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, we got hit with just the smoke from the forest fires that were like half an hour away. And it was really quite thick some days, and we've had no rain. Luckily, it started to rain yesterday. But literally for 2 weeks, it was solid smoke outside. I couldn't get... It sounds so lame, but, you know, like even getting a cell phone signal was pretty hard. And we think that's why we had such a big delay on the first week of podcast, but we didn't want to procrastinate anymore. But seeing these videos from the fires, from Gatlinburg and from the other places, and knowing that most of them were started by arsonists, it makes me revisit that chemical castration thing.
Yeah, fuck you.
Chop their hands off, man, because you've destroyed the lives of thousands of people.
And just every fucking thing they own.
Yeah, everything. Have you seen the videos? We'll have to put one in the description of people trying to leave Gatlinburg on the roads.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the highways, and then you know how you're on the highway, and then you'll have, you know, nature on the side. There'll be a forest. It's just burning. Yeah. They're right next to the fires. Mm-hmm. That's terrifying.
It's like burning tree limbs falling on the road as they're trying to escape.
Yeah, it's really scary. I was talking about horrible videos, but like I started crying. I was like, oh my God, what are they gonna do?
So you want to watch wheelchair people fight to the death, but you can't watch someone drive out of a burning fire.
Oh my god, ironically, I have a wheelchair story about Gatlinburg.
Okay, go.
So, I think my family was just on our way to Dollywood, driving there from the hotel. And I see this real beat up pickup truck. The whole family's in, it's not one with like a back seat, it's smaller. So they're all in the front seat. But there's one kid in the back who's in a wheelchair in the bed of the truck just rolling around as they drive.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Was the wheelchair in the bed of the truck, or was the kid in the wheelchair in the bed of the truck?
The kid was on the wheelchair in the bed of the truck, rolling around in the back there while we were stopped, and then
oh
yeah.
My
that is so dangerous.
Holy fuck. I mean, most wheelchairs have seat belts, but
Tennessee.
Wow. Are you for real?
I swear. One of the funniest things. Well, I guess it's not really funny, is it?
It kind of is, but it's not. Like, it is until you realize this is a true story, and then it becomes horrifying.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
That memory is always gonna stick with me. But
I
yeah,
have
because the
friends that
initial
wanted to
thought
do
was
that
like,
with
holy
me.
shit, that's hilarious. But that's really dangerous.
Mm-hmm. That's really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if they just, like, a sudden stop and the wheelchair's just going whoop, or of course hitting something, they'd fly out and go who knows where. That's just not, don't do that, anyone.
Oh, that's horrible. But I bet the police weren't there, because they're too interested in stealing your money that might be from drugs. You see that nice topic roll in there?
Hey,
Rolling into a
yeah.
topic? Smooth.
Very smooth.
Say you're driving down the road, beside you you've got $5,000 in your wallet, right? For some people, $5,000 is nothing. It's the cost of a purse. For others, it's a lifeline, whatever. But say you get pulled over for speeding, cops find $5,000. They can say, well, this might have been got illegally, so we're going to confiscate it. You don't have to be convicted of anything. You don't have to be arrested for anything. The cops can just take it. It's called civil forfeiture. If they say this could have been got by illegal means, it's theirs. And they get to keep it. It pads their bonuses. It pads their equipment. It's really as simple as that. If you have more than X amount of cash on you, or they suspect anything, they can seize it. That there are even people who have had their houses seized and vehicles seized, and there's really no real appeals process for it. It's all done kind of ex parte, which means you're not present.
It's as if, like, your money or if your house is taken, it's like it's just found guilty.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can really do. So what's happening is a lot of police are, drugs come in one way, money goes out the other. So they'll just police on one side of the road so that they get the money, not the drugs, because they get to keep a certain percentage of the money they find, not the police officers individually, but that police department. So if they want, a tank for the local neighborhood watch or something, because every police department needs a tank, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're just buying, all this military equipment and militarization of the police force. We could get into all that, but they're getting a lot of that money from civil forfeiture.
Yeah, and it's a really big deal because, if you're going to buy a car or you're coming over as a student and you've got large amounts of cash on you, and it doesn't have to be that much cash. I say that much. It could be a couple of grand. And if a cop says, well, I saw some green stuff in here, so you might have been selling weed, so this money's now mine. There's nothing you can do, really.
Yeah, no, you can't do anything.
I think
I guess Nebraska
years.
did eliminate it. Nebraska recently eliminated civil forfeiture, and the stuff they've taken must have a criminal conviction now. Oh, no, I mean, sorry. The person has to have a criminal conviction, be found guilty, or take a plea deal, whatever. They have to have the conviction, and then the property can be taken.
Yeah, it blows my mind that we can have legal theft from the government.
Yeah, that's
and there's
what
nothing
it is.
You can do. You hear of people literally fighting for years to get their stuff back.
Yeah, and even like I read a story where a grandmother let her grandson borrow her car, and I think he had like just a little bit of weed on him, and he got arrested. And they took her car, and they wouldn't give it back to her. It was her car. They said, "Well, you should have known
Yeah, I
that."
mean, it's all you need is one corrupt cop can fuck up an entire family. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that every cop is bad by any means, but there are some fucked up people in this world of every profession.
I
Um,
mean, that's just a system that it
it's
doesn't matter
designed
if
to
the cop is
fail.
good or bad.
It's designed to fail. If you don't like someone for maybe the way they said good morning to you or hello officer when you pulled them over for speeding, it's people want to power trip. It's almost in human nature, right? That I am better than you, that hierarchy, that the puffing up. Well,
Yeah.
when you have civil forfeiture, it's really fucking easy to do because you're like, I can take whatever I want just by saying I think it might, possibly, potentially, maybe be related to something illegal. I don't need any
But
evidence. I don't need to arrest you. I don't need to convict you. I just need to not like you. That's my reasoning.
yeah, so be careful with your cash when you're driving. You never know.
But the good news is the guy we were originally talking about, who we didn't actually mention, was a guy coming to the US with $10,000, was a student. They took his money saying it was from illegal drug trafficking. He did get it back.
Oh, I heard about this when it first happened, so he did get it back.
Hmm.
I didn't look at the story.
Most people
But
end up
yeah, I had
waiting
heard it
like,
the first time.
yeah, most people end up waiting like 4 or 5 years to get their stuff back.
Well, I'm glad he got it a lot faster than that. But yeah, I mean, there's still too many people who have just, said, "Hey, all right, it's lost. I can't do anything about it," and give up.
But imagine the damage that. So this obviously very rarely happens to wealthy people, right? Because they're harder targets. They can afford lawyers. They can afford to fight, and they can afford to spread the word and take donations away from the police wives fund or whatever. But the damage that confiscating a car could do to a family.
Yeah, if it's their only car, their only way to get to
Now
work.
they can't
Well, I guess
work unless
you
they're
could do
on a.
public transport in some areas, but yeah, I mean, just that story of that student and that being like what he had to live here, and now he doesn't have it anymore.
So
He's fucked.
yeah, he lost his college placement, so he has to wait another year. He couldn't pay his rent, so he was homeless. All this stuff. He couldn't get a job because he had nowhere to live. You don't have an address, you can't really get a job. Like his life got delayed a year because he had the wrong color skin potentially, and had money on him. And I don't get why his proof of studentness, I just made up a word, and coming into the country wasn't evidence enough.
Dude, man, students like drugs. That's what he was doing.
But he apparently would have had a student visa if he was from overseas, which he was. He would have had papers proving his placement. I don't get why. I know, like, we all had, those of us who went to university, I'm sure, had friends from overseas who were loaded.
Oh, yeah.
And 10 grand to them was nothing. So why did this? I mean, I know you can't leave them on 10 grand cash, but 10 grand cash isn't that uncommon in an airport, especially with foreign students. So I don't get why this guy got singled out. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's pretty true. Like, a lot of these people that come over quite often are insanely rich, and 10 grand is that's a Hermes bag or a Prada bag or whatever.
I'm just sick of like all of this stuff that's meant to keep people down, and people realize it's bullshit.
That's the thing.
And like
it's
it takes so long
oppression.
for things to change. Like, how long did it take for Nebraska to eliminate this? And I mean, I live in Illinois, who has some of the most aggressive civil forfeiture laws. Like,
and it doesn't
this is
work.
not good for people.
It doesn't work.
No.
People are on the highest murder rates in the world.
Yeah,
Nothing works. It
like,
just makes people more angry and more pent up, and because it's bullshit. It's legal theft.
Yeah, it is. It's just disgusting.
I don't like, this is supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave, cops who can fuck you, people that can steal from you, and you can do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's just
There's a
I'm
lot
getting
of fucked
sick
up things. One
sick
thing,
of this stuff, and I don't know if this is gonna change under Trump. I don't
it's
know.
probably going to
I
get
feel like he's
worse.
yeah, I feel like his cabinet members are the type of people who'd be like, oh well, those people deserve it.
But the thing is, if you are not in a super high paid job in this country right now, you're fucked, right? Because health insurance costs most people what, 400 or 500 a month if they don't have it with their place of employment, right? So let's say minimum wage. Minimum wage in Georgia is horrific. It's 7.25, right? So
Whoa, wow.
yeah. So they're getting like 250 a week maybe before taxes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So $1,000 a month. Well, let's say they need 600 for rent, 400 or 500 for health insurance, few hundred for taxes. We're already in the negative. That's before they've
Someone like
eaten.
that would have to be on like assistance in some form if they're living on their
Oh yeah,
own.
but they're
I would
earning over
assume, yeah.
8 grand, so there is no assistance. Ah,
Wait.
I think
Oh.
Georgia, it's 8 grand. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure there'll
really?
be some food stamps, but the fact is, they can't afford to be independent. I mean, then maybe they'll get Medicaid or Medicare with that little. Does
I
that
think they're
happen?
well. Ryan, the speaker, wanted to get rid of Medicare slowly.
Oh God. But it's impossible. It's an impossible system. You have no money to save, and then if you're a homeowner, you've got the retarded property taxes in America that are more than rent in some cases. Um, so the American dream of saving for your retirement, saving for your house, saving for this and saving for that is bullshit because third of your money's going on taxes, the other third's going on rent, the other third's going on health insurance. There's nothing to eat with,
if
nothing
you
to.
consider like commuting and if there's toll roads, and I think this is something that might change under Trump because he talked a lot about privatizing roads,
Oh
which could
God.
potentially mean more toll roads, which would become just sort of like another sort of tax.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the country taxes us to death, pretty much. It's impossible unless you're earning ridiculous amounts of money to save if you want health insurance, if you don't have it with your employer. Um, and
And
even
then
with
we're
your
like,
employer, you often have premiums. I just feel like the system's really sticking it to most people right now. And then, of course, when you buy a house, you have your property taxes, which can often be as much as rent, and you have to fix your house and maintain it and everything. So a lot more people are wanting to rent, which means there's this ever growing amount of landlords. People just aren't buying homes anymore. They can't afford them. They can't maintain them. They can't pay their property taxes. And if you're stuck in rent, well, that's great while you're young and you're working a lot. What the fuck are you going to do when you retire?
I think the future, in a way, as more automation becomes more and more normal, a lot of people are going to be out of work. And I don't know the sorts of jobs that are going to be available, like how many, because there are a lot of people here. I feel like at some point there's going to have to be something like a universal basic income, which is like where everyone in the country would get, a form of payment to handle their living costs.
Yeah, I think in the future it's going to have to be. Otherwise, me and you, Kelly, are just going to be in some kind of cardboard box retirement city. We'll look
Oh,
fucking
God.
fabulous, but
Yes. No more shopping, though.
yeah, I mean, I want to see a higher minimum wage, especially in Georgia. I don't. When I hire someone to help with my Etsy, I usually pay about $12 an hour. 10 if it's something really stupid that you could do blindfolded and there's no effort. But for the most part, I pay at least $12 an hour, and sometimes even 15 if it's shitty job. But which is over double the minimum wage, and that to me is disgusting.
Yeah, and well, I think a lot of these minimum wage jobs are if minimum wage goes up, I think a lot of these companies will just be like, "All right,
Automate.
automation
Mm.
completely right away."
No, I agree.
We don't.
But so, there used to be the blue collar jobs, the white collar jobs, and the big white collar jobs, right? So you would go to college, work a minimum wage job, then you'd become maybe a secretary and you'd work your way up in the office, right? They were lifetime careers. Now it's very hard to jump from one thing to another, but it's from like a minimum wage to maybe a entry level white collar job. It's very hard for you to do that without a degree. But it's very easy for you to lose your white collar job and end up in a blue collar job.
Yes.
Or
And
blue
then
collar,
blue
or
collar jobs
blue
are
collar
becoming
jobs
less and less.
less and less. So then you fall back from the blue collar into a minimum wage.
Yep, and then those wages are just not enough at all.
No, you can't live off 7.25 an hour. I don't care. Unless you're
No,
16.
not at all.
Unless you're 16, 17, 18, maybe you can live off 6.25 an hour if you're living, or 7.25 an hour if you're living with your parents. But it's becoming almost a regular thing to see, like, 30-year-olds living with their parents in America because they can't afford not to.
And even just, white collar jobs, some of those wages or salaries haven't gone up with inflation, and people still aren't making, enough.
Yeah.
And in certain locations too, like in certain cities, it's just very hard to live because those cities are so expensive, like, San Francisco.
Oh my
Really
God, did you see that? Like apartments for like $1 million?
Yeah, they're like tiny as hell.
I was like, what? You could buy a mansion in Georgia for that. But yeah, no, I feel like there has to be an industry overhaul, which is going to increase the competition for jobs, right? Because it will reduce jobs, but there'll be competition, which should hopefully rev up the work ethic. Because I don't know what it is, but our generation especially, we're lazy fucks, Kelly.
Yeah, we're pretty entitled too.
Like people, this is going to make me sound arrogant. I work a lot. I work a lot of hours, but that is really rare for someone of my age.
Yeah, I think so. I
But
think
I
in
work
some
less
cases,
efficiently.
I think in some cases people too.
We don't want that 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
I grew up knowing that I would never do a 9 to 5, partially because I always had some kind of health problem. I was broken at birth, something like that. I don't know. But
I think I sort of assumed I would, but then it just ended up way different.
Well, for me, I knew I never could. When you got an immune problem, being around people's never good. So 9 to 5 officing, I knew that was off the table. So for me, I knew I had to create my own job, had to create my own thing, and I did that very well. But I do like my afternoon nap, so that helps. But a lot of people in our generation just don't want to work. They don't have the drive. We're very entitled. We think we should have a bigger safety net, and we should have a safety net. I'm not saying there shouldn't be one, but we're just a terrible generation of lazy fucks.
I think we have a lot of distractions too, and as automation occurs more and more, people are going to have more time. Like automated cars, people won't have to drive. They'll have more time to do whatever in their car. We have so many different distractions. Video games, cell phone games that just get you really addicted, and you keep playing and you keep playing and you hate it, but you just are addicted.
And we're also less
And
controlled by life, what life used to be, right? It used to be you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you have kids, you get married, you buy a house, you have kids, settle down, woman stays at home, man goes out to work, and that was life. Now everything's changed, which is obviously good for women and stuff, but those kind of goals have gone out the window, and we're kind of lost, right? Because now those goals seem impossible with the cost of health insurance, with the taxes, with the cost of X, Y, and the low wages. And it's just like...
And then those people still have college loans.
The college loans. It seems like you're fighting against this impossible system, so we're completely disenfranchised. And unless you're doing very well or you're very lucky, life isn't in a box anymore. We've been kind of freed from this box, but we're the kind of weird generation. Everything kind of changed with us. We broke the 9 to 5. Out came YouTube, especially for us. People could earn a living off that.
Etsy, like you.
Etsy, yeah, me. People could work from home, flexible hours, part-time. No longer were you working one job for 30 years. You were looking for a job every couple of years. And this is all new and the world's adapting, but we don't know where we stand. When you're not working one job for 30 years, well, what the fuck do you do about your pension? If it's not going to be a company pension, who understands 401ks? No one understands 401ks, but you're supposed to have one, right? But why?
Yeah, like our generation, they're not. I don't even know if they can save money because
there's no
so
money
much money
to
away
save.
to other things.
There's no money to save when a third of your money's going on health insurance, a third of it's on taxes, a third of it's on rent. There's nothing left. Enjoy your ramen noodles. You need to retire with at least 500,000. Can you imagine retiring with 500,000? I don't know many people our age that are going to retire with 500,000. That's the recommended amount.
We're the first generation that's going to do worse than our parents.
Yeah, we're going to be living in a cardboard retirement home.
Well, hopefully they get universal basic income until we're all, in that cardboard.
But would that solve it? Would the economy be strong enough?
Yeah, and that's true. The economy would have to be strong enough to support that. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It
works in small countries. But would it work in a big one like America? I mean, America is essentially 50 small countries. Yeah, you're going to get mad at me, but it's true.
Yeah, no, that's an accurate... And that's probably how it will be, too, I would assume, is maybe one state will start doing it, and then maybe others follow, or they don't.
I don't know if it will ever come through to that. I don't think they'll ever... I wish there would be a universal income.
But at some point they would have to do something, because you imagine having so many angry poor people? Because the more angry poor people you get, it just keeps adding. Eventually those people react in a big way, and I don't think... And
we've shipped off all the manual jobs to other countries, the manufacturing,
Or bringing people in from I think in tech they bring in a lot of people from India and pay them less. Yeah. And then now the wages in those jobs are going much lower.
Yeah. We've really screwed ourselves with globalism to a certain extent. But at the same side, we've made lives better.
We want this to be a fluffy, fun podcast.
Oh my God, this was supposed
Kitty
to
ends
be
up
a
with this. Thing. You're all screwed.
You're fucked. You can't save. But yeah, I mean, you got to save what you can, even if it's $5 a week. You got to put something aside, because otherwise we're all going to be screwed. And if you're younger than us, you have a chance.
There's sales.
Oh no, this is me talking about sales. Warm sweaters.
Well, you and I are very fortunate that we can have buy sales.
Yeah, there are months where we're like, ramen again? Would you like an egg in your ramen, Kelly? We're living it large tonight.
Look at this nice box I found.
Please buy my stuff on Etsy so I can buy warm sweaters. Oh, I need to WD-40 my chair. I just noticed it had been squeaking. Sorry about that. But yeah, we said we were going to do a light and fluffy podcast, but as with Kelly and myself, everything goes to doom and gloom.
Yeah, what
the fuck? We're screwed, Kelly. We're screwed.
Every podcast is going to happen.
I smell like spiced ginger cookie awesomeness, and we're talking about ending up in cardboard retirement homes with no money and savings and doomed.
No. I'll never be there. I'll take a bucket of gold before it happens.
Yes, we just need to find those security guys and what their route is, and then we can just run off we should dress up as leprechauns and do it. Although I fail at the running thing, but in my mind, it looks really funny.
I could picture myself as this guy, and I got the bucket, and then I just trip, and I fall, and then
you come up,
maybe I'm in New York, and it just all the gold flakes fall into the sewer,
or stuck to your foundation and in your hair. So you get up and you've got gold all over you, because it's gold flakes, right? So that's basically glitter makeup, just expensive.
And then all the people in the box village see my face full of gold,
and
then
they just it off you.
Yeah, rabid animals just scratch it off, grab my eyeball out.
This is my
they
pension.
Fucking eat that.
This is my pension.
They just have a gold flaked eyeball, and I'm just sitting there bleeding out and dying.
Like my precious. See, that was a lighter tone. We can do lighter tone. You full gold, scratched face.
It was still about how fucked we are.
Yeah.
That people are going to be so desperate they're scratching gold off people's eyes. But
cardboard box apocalypse.
That's the future.
Look, next week will be lighter and fluffier because it's the creepy thing. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Not when we were recording, but now we're going to do it anyway. We can always also do a Q&A segment to the podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll probably ignore them, but maybe we'll use them one day.
Yeah, and once we get on iTunes, put questions in the reviews. Just reviews are pretty important on iTunes, so
Yeah, we want your
you guys
reviews.
are gonna have to do that for us.
You have to leave us reviews, otherwise we will hunt every single one of you down and reserve you a cardboard box in our retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
Because we wouldn't do anything bad, would we?
Oh, we know we use those people to do the wheelchair jousting.
Yeah, if you don't leave us a review, you are round 1.
Oh, I can't wait.
But you'd have to do the wheelchair jousting like Robot Wars, right? So they get X amount of time to jazz up the wheelchair, weaponize it,
yeah.
put giant hammers on it, like flaming wheels, like...
Oh, and we need to add, like, tigers. I mean, I know I don't want the tigers to die either, you guys, but, like, we need them in there.
They would look
like,
pretty cool.
Real gladiator battles.
And giant axes and, like... Oh, man, I'm kind of designing this in my head right now. We're really fucked. We went from taxes, health insurance, wheelchair jousting, back to what we're going to do with the show, and fashion, and gold flakes, and back to wheelchair jousting that's now Robot Wars-esque with tigers. And we did that in the last 5 minutes.
That's about right. I mean,
yeah, we don't
twist of insanity. It makes sense.
Yeah. But... crazy shit. I don't know, like there's so much news, but it's all really depressing, and I feel like I need therapy.
Yeah, I think maybe, like, oh man, I think it was, honestly, I think it's once we started talking about all those victims in the UK, the kids.
It got really depressing.
Yeah, and then we just really got just way depressing from there. I mean, the Gold tried to save it, but it couldn't.
Trumpenstein's got the richest cabinet ever.
Yeah, a bunch of people have, like, worked for Goldman Sachs or something like that,
yeah.
and they're involved, and then everyone's like, yeah, but Hillary gave a speech. Well, yeah, now, you know, they're part of the cabinet.
Yeah,
they're part of the crew.
Trump's cabinet, not much experience necessary, so long as your wallet is fat. So all that shit he's saying about being anti-system and against the billionaires, of which he is one, those of you who believed it, you're fucked. You know, his tax breaks are really only for the wealthy. Most of us are going to be paying an extra couple of %.
Time to get wealthy, guys, so we can take advantage.
Head of house tax breaks are being reduced. So... time to win the lottery. And again, buy my stuff on Etsy and subscribe to Kelly through Amazon Prime, because we need to get rich, otherwise we're going to lose more by having to pay more taxes.
Yes.
And think of the cardboard retirement home. We're too fabulous to live in cardboard boxes.
And we couldn't even do this show if we were in a cardboard box.
I wonder what kind of internet speed you could get at a cardboard box retirement home.
No, we
probably
just have
better
one of those
than what I get here.
Cups. We'd be sitting in a box together with a cup on a string, and the string would go out to other boxes where everyone's listening with their cup and string.
The string would get, like, burnt by a forest fire.
Oh no! As, like, the cops are going around taking our cups with strings, like, oh, sorry, we're gonna need to take that.
Yep, this could have been used for drugs, so we're going to have to take your cup.
Oh, your cup is very suspicious. Give me that here.
It smells funky. Well, this has gone downhill. Do you think we should wrap it up?
I think we are ready to wrap it up at that.
So, bitches, leave us comments in the comments section and reviews if this goes on iTunes, but I doubt it will, so...
Yeah, I don't think it'll be ready yet. Yeah. So next week...
And next
Even though that's the video episode.
Yeah. Next week won't be able to go on iTunes because it will be a video. So you'll have to watch our pretty little faces rather than just listen as we review the creepiest holiday gifts found on Etsy. It should be fun. We'll go over the rules when we do it so you understand.
Hopefully all our stuff is ready by next week. I think it will be.
Yeah, it should be. I'm sending mine out. I was going to send it last week, but I lost one of the things.
Yeah, I guess my concern was one of the things I got was from Canada. But I'm just having it shipped to you, so I don't think it'll take that long. It's just Canada.
Canada can be like a couple of weeks.
For real?
Yeah. If Kelly Singh isn't here, we won't do it. She'll just show me a picture of it. How about that?
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
And we can put a picture on the screen if it's not him.
Oh, man.
Hopefully it gets here. If it doesn't, we'll just do it that way.
I might be able to find an American version.
Maybe.
And I could just do that. But then you're oh, God, you don't want to.
Probably not. Is this the curse thing?
Oh, this is the curse thing. But it's from Canada, now that I think about it, since it is from
Canadians
Canada.
are friendly.
Yeah, they don't curse people, so like you don't
Maybe-
even have to worry about it. It's just pretend Canadian curses.
Maybe there'll just be some maple syrup in there. That would be great.
Oh, maple syrup ghost.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's something to do with a ghost? Kelly, you know how fucking superstitious I am.
No, it doesn't have to do with a ghost, but I'm just saying it's really creepy, and I wouldn't be surprised if a ghost was in it.
He's such a cock. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll put all the links in the description that you need. Ask your questions to us on Twitter at PaintballKitty or at...
Popkill, Poppkell.
And we'll put all those in the description as well. Ask us your questions. We'll be more organized next week. Look forward to our pretty faces and creeping each other out. Pray for me not to get cursed in the next one, and we'll talk to you next week.
Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.